Good evening, Munchie Mafia. Tonight we're going to be cooking frog legs, Brussels sprouts, pickled pig skins, pickle juice, and Kraft macaroni and cheese. Can we make it into a real dish, or is this one going to fail like the last one? So let's get to it.
Somewhere in Washington, there is an antique kitchen in the shadows of Mount Rainier, where the Munchie Mafia meets every magical Monday night for hours of fun and laughter with the turn of the mighty wheel of culinary misfortune. The wheel spins round and round, stopping on one ingredient at a time. Some are winners, some are losers. Who the hell suggested Twizzlers? You are going to hell for that one. Like and subscribe to Munchie Mafia Official and flick the bell icon for notifications. Thanks for coming, dear friends. So let's get this dumpster fire started. Let's work some magic together with twisted ingredients that you chose, with a stirry stir and a whiskey whisper.
Right, so we are back. And let's see, who do we have in here tonight? We've got Yes I Can Barbecue and Oyster Toad, Viper, Oracles, and Greg Johnson. All right. So after much running around all over town, I found pickled pig skins. Now, part of this challenge is mainly to show how you can take a bunch of random ingredients out of your own refrigerator, freezer, and or pantry. And also, if you do have to rely on the food bank, and you get those weird random ingredients from there, what the hell do you do with that sort of thing? Use your imagination. All right. So first off, what we did was we cooked off the macaroni from the Kraft macaroni and cheese. And then we're going to add some frozen peas to it, because these were already in my freezer. And the pasta is steaming hot, so we're going to rely on these frozen peas to chill down our hot pasta. Well, how's that macaroni and cheese? Well, you don't necessarily have to make macaroni and cheese the traditional way as per the instructions on the box. There's always hacks to everything, right? So the way this goes is I don't do any research beforehand. I don't go cruising all over the internet. I don't ask ChatGPT or anything like that, or watch videos of what other people have done to these things. I just use my own imagination, and you just got to trust me on that. I don't. I'm not one for following recipes much. I'll glance at the ingredients sometimes and just go from there. If I know that it's a braised dish, I know that these are the steps you got to go through in order to make a braised dish, for example. And yes, I was actually able to get frog legs, which is funny because I saw the frog legs the other day when I went to pick up ostrich and couldn't. because that's where the ostrich would have sat, is right next to the frog legs. Okay. So we added some frozen peas into the pasta, which should have cooled it down to make it workable. Hello, Devil Dog and Des and Mean Girl and Quentin. It is back working again. Okay, cool. All right. So we're going to make a macaroni salad out of the macaroni and cheese. We're going to take the cheese packet and we're going to put it into our bowl. Do we want to switch the camera to the top upstairs camera, Timmy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You're
I'm scrambling.
scrambling.
Yeah.
How can you be scrambling? You're sitting in one place.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to add some mayonnaise. This came out of the refrigerator. We're going to mix this together.
You want to move your box?
Yes, I can move my box. I can definitely do that. Okay. There. All right. You all right now, Steven Spielberg? All right. Beep, 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 beep. Hello, Ophia. Welcome. And hello, Demoose. Did I say hello to Demoose already? All right. And this is going to want to rest for a little while because that powdered cheese is probably going to be just kind of lumpy and kind of gritty. So far, it's pulling together quite nicely, though. I would not put relish and mustard in this. I think that would be a little weird. But what we are going to add is a little bit of some Creole seasoning. It's going to tie the room together because we're going to have some for our frog legs, right? So give it a sprinkles. Set that aside so I don't forget where I put it. Now we're going to add some other things to this because we want to brighten it up because we are going into spring, right? So some diced up celery, fine dice, and some spring onion. I already had that in my fridge. And some bell pepper that I didn't use the other day. Forgot what I was making. Oh well. All right. Now we're going to mix this together. And then we have a basic Kraft macaroni and cheese macaroni salad. Hopefully this tastes good. Not that it matters because, like, this stuff is cheap. All right. Now you can also add other things to it if you want. You can add some bacon or ham, which would be really nice. Some diced tomato. But, oh, I have an heirloom tomato. I don't want to waste my heirloom tomato on that. All right. I'll add a little bit more of this. All right. So that's done. That's ready to rock and roll. You can definitely put red bell pepper, but I didn't have any red bell pepper. All I had was green. So there. You know what? That actually tastes really good. Hey, Belt Loop. Welcome. All right. We got that taken care of. So that can sit and rest and relax and get happy for a little while. And get fat and sassy. Let me get rid of this stuff. I'll just set that right there. All right. Now, here's our Brussels sprouts. We've got some beautiful Brussels sprouts. They're big ones. If you're a size queen, that's great. We're just going to take some olive oil. Make sure it's not my balsamic because they're in identical bottles. What I don't like about Kirkland. And then we're going to take some salt. Give it a pretty good dose of salt, okay? And crack some pepper in there. And these are going to take a little while. Well, we weren't on that camera a moment ago, Timmy. There. All right. So these are going to take the longest. Doesn't really take all that long to cook frog legs. Now I was half hoping that they would be, whole frog legs, skin on, but they weren't. So we'll just pretend. I'll explain how to prepare the frog legs. Okay, we've mixed that up. We want to make sure that it's coated with oil, and we're just going to pop them into a little pan. Now you can, if you have Parmesan cheese, you can definitely put some Parmesan cheese in there, or Romano, or whatever you want, or just as it is, salt and pepper. All right, I'm gonna pop that in the oven, 400 degrees. Let them do their thing and get happy with some heat. And now, let's move my box out of the way for a moment. Let's talk about the dredge and stuff. Let's start with that first, because we definitely need to get this ready. So what this is two eggs that have been beaten. Okay. 2 eggs that have been beaten. And some heavy cream. A little bit of heavy cream in there. We're going to mix it together. Now, we're going to add some of this Creole seasoning right in here. And mixy, mixy, mixy. Make some magic happen right there. All right. Oh, wow. Oh, goodness. Oh, God. I think I'm going to sneeze. Anyway, now my nose is burning. All right, we're going to want some all-purpose flour, and we're just going to put it in this bowl. This is going to be a dredge. Probably going to need a little bit more than that. And because we're going to be frying these, we're going to want to be a little heavy-handed on salt, because frying things has a tendency to kill the salt. Make sure this is the right oil. Yeah. So we want enough oil in the pan. We want a shallow pan, because that way we could fit all of them all at once. We're going to get that preheated. So how is everybody tonight? Who got flicked off? What? All right. Now, this looks like a mess, but you know what this is? This is the remains of a smoked onion that I smoked the other day. And we're actually going to use the rest of this tonight because I like the. Well, you keep changing. For crying out loud, Timmy.
No.
Every time I turn around, you're changing the camera angle.
Wanna do it? It doesn't end well, remember?
All right, smoked onion from the other day, and I just took a whole onion and I smoked it in my smoker for about 2 hours, and it came out all nice and soft, and made some really beautiful um, blue cheese burgers, Wagyu burgers, stuffed with blue cheese, and this really went really well. I was going to make some guacamole, but then decided, well, you know what? Maybe what we'll do is we'll just use this somewhere else. So there's that. We got that chopped up. Actually, you know what? I'm probably not going to use all of it. All right. Then we're going to need our smoked garlic. So I had to go to the doctor today for my back. So I got referred out to a specialist. The degenerative disc disease is actually starting to progress a little bit more than it had been in previous years. So now I got to figure out what the hell to do with that. All right, I'm going to just pop this over. So I'm kind of running a little bit late and a little discombobulated, plus having to go to 3 stores looking for different things. Just kind of threw me off a little bit. All right, so smoked garlic. Hey, Stephen and Jacqueline, welcome. So smoked garlic, whenever I have an extra rack and I'm running low on garlic, I'll go and buy like 10 pounds of garlic at a time, and I'll just throw them in. Just throw the whole bulb in on the top shelf, and I'll just get it all smoked up. If I'm going to use up that kind of energy, I might as well, make the best of it. Sometimes I throw weird things in the smoker just to see what happens, like Funyuns and whatnot. All right, so there we have that. That's just 3 cloves of garlic. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our frog legs. So the package comes with 2. These have been rinsed out and force thawed. And when it comes to frog legs, when you're breaking down your own frog, you always want to kind of know where the anatomy of the you kind of need to know the anatomy. And so you want to cut just below the pelvis, and that way you end up with these 2 rather almost obscene looking legs. Looks like a butt, and you peel them. You're going to need pliers because they are a bit slippery, and then you just go in and you just break them in half. Into 2 pieces, and you're going to see a lot of veins and stuff. Those are fine. After you break down a whole frog, you do want to give it a good wash just to make sure that there's no guts left behind. Of course, I didn't go and catch these frogs. We don't have frogs like this out in our neck of the woods. We have little tiny tree frogs, and that's not fun at all. Then you're going to just cut just above the ankle as well. And frog legs taste a lot like chicken, so you want to treat them a lot like chicken. And the way that we do that is we have our egg wash. And then we're going to just take our babies and get them going right there, just like so. All right. And then we just drop them in, and we treat them a lot like, oh crap, I forgot to do that, didn't I? Forgot to put that Creole seasoning in there. So heavy-handed with the Creole seasoning. I was wondering why it wasn't so pink. Creole seasoning. You can also use Old Bay. All right, now let's try this again. We're going to double dip anyway. So treat it like you're making fried chicken. Except for you do want to let them soak overnight, or at least a minimum of a couple of hours. So I didn't have that time. The butcher shop is not open on Sundays. So let's see here. What's that? Flippy, flippy, flippy. Drudgy, drudgy, drudgy. And basically what we're doing is we're just making it so that it's a lot like fried chicken. Tastes like chicken too. Doesn't have a weird gamey taste to it or anything like that. You don't want to press the flour into it, or else what happens is you end up with it being really, really, really gross. Texture is going to be off-putting. So just kind of do your best. Frying is best. Air frying, not so much. All right. Hey, Elfish. Welcome. We're cooking frog legs. All right. We're going to come over to the stove. We're going to check out our paella pan that we're actually using for our frying. And I had a little tiny bit of egg on there, and it's doing quite well. Now, this pan heats up pretty quickly. I just need to find the tweezers. Wrong tweezers. Why is it I can never find anything when I need it? Okay. Alrighty. Now you don't want to flip them too often. This batter will fall off, and then it'll make a mess. So just kind of lay them down and let them do their thing for a while, okay? Flip them once, one and done. These are usually done about 5 minutes on one side, 5 on the other, depending on the size of your frog legs. These ones are a little on the smaller side, so we're probably going to do 4 and 4. All right. Now the pan in the back I'm going to get preheated as well. Clean up my mess a little bit. So just keep an eye on those frog legs. If you happen to see any ghosts, write down the timestamp. We've been having problems with our ghost lately. So in the other pan, what we're going to be doing is taking these these pickled pork skins. You get these at Mexican grocery stores. They're actually quite good if you like the texture. I happen to like the texture because they're a little bit more tender than tripe, but you know, I like them just as they are. Usually tossed in with salt and lime juice and tomato, kind of like a salad. But we're gonna fry these up. We're gonna add, that brine is actually quite nice. I might not be using the brine out of the bread and butter. We'll see. So what do y'all think? Should we use the pickle brine out of the pork rinds, or should we use the pickle brine out of the pickles? I'm going to let you all choose. Yeah, this house is 126 years old. Or going on 120. It was built 125. Yeah, going on 126. Yeah, and it's funny because the whole back of the house didn't exist up until like the 1990s. Use a pork skin juice? Okay. Because we're going to fry these up and get them crispy. And the texture will be very, very different. But I like them anyway. All right. Ah, there's my tongs. Okay. Let's go check these. Don't quite like the color yet. So we're just going to let it ride for a little bit longer. Maybe another minute or two. Try to clean up some of my mess. And I really like this pan. This is made by Calphalon. It's their small paella pan. Now, one of the nice things is that they're not sticking to the bottom of the pan, which I really thoroughly like. Okay. I think it's doing pretty well. Anybody have any questions? The other thing that you can do is you could fry these up and just give them a dice, throw it into the macaroni salad that we just made. Give it a taste. The flavor is developing. All right, we should be able to flippy flip. We've got some lightly golden brown deliciousness going on. Now, this is an old coil burner electric stove, so it's like you just never know where the hot spot's going to be. Now, this one's a fatty back here. I probably flipped that one a little too soon, but we'll soon see. This one right here is the fatty. I think it's going to be delicious. We got a pan smoking in the back. So we're going to give it some olive oil. And one of the beauties about cast iron is that they hold heat very well. Now, first off, we're going to start with the pork rind. Oh, can you see that pan back in the back? Maybe I'll switch it. Yeah, I'm gonna switch it. This just needs to just do its thing for just a little while longer, and then we're gonna pull them and rest them on a rack. Now, for those 4 frog legs, it cost just a little over $8. It was like $8.31 for 4 frog legs. It's really not that bad considering what you're getting. And one of the nice things about frog legs is that they're super lean. And they're just, I haven't had them in a while. You know, I thought about making like a traditional French dish with it, but decided against it. And we're just going to throw the garnish in there along with the pork rind. Since this is going to take a little while, we want to add this first before we add anything else, like the onions and stuff. That's a pretty good amount right there. Now, one of the things that I like to do with actual pork rinds that you get in the bag in the potato chip aisle, I like to crush those up and use those as my, hang on a second, I gotta get the pan ready. Those are almost ready to pull out. Ow, son of a bitch. Use it for my meatballs as a binder instead of using panko. Also, it's also really good for fried chicken. If you're looking at other alternatives, you can definitely mix crushed pork rinds with cornmeal and a gluten-free flour for a gluten-free fried chicken bread. And it's actually quite good. Plus it gives it a really nice color. Alright. So we're going to start seeing that hopefully have some color here pretty soon. Anybody got questions? Hey Sophie. Hey Tech290. Hi Ash. See who else? Hey Teresa. Wow, we got quite a few people in here. Huh? What? I'm only showing 6 in here. How many? 19? Wow. Why is my numbers all screwy? Do I deliver? I wish I did. You know, what would be really nice is if I won the lottery and I would go and get myself a really nice food trailer, like fully decked out with commercial equipment, and just haul it the back of a motorhome and drive around the country and just go around and feed people. And I'd be stopping in you guys' hometowns, that's for sure. And also go feed the less fortunate as well. And possibly go around to areas that are experiencing disasters, natural disasters like tornadoes and whatnot. Go out and cook for the first responders and the people that are, you know, can't do for themselves because their home has been destroyed. would love to go and do that. We had a restaurant in the next town over. The owner, she would do that. Her name's Ginger, and she owned Mama Passarelli's, and she was just an inspiration to the whole community to go out when the massive mudslide happened over in Oso. What year was that, Timmy? You remember when Oso happened? 94? Oh, anyway, so she went out and she and her friends, they were the soup queens, and they would go out and they would take coffee and soups and sandwiches and whatnot to the first responders to make sure that they were well fed. And she did that at a lot of these things that happened. All right, so now we got that going. We got our doohickeys resting. They look pretty darn gorgeous, but we are going to give them a temp real quick. We want to treat them as though they were chicken, so we're looking for 160. Those are definitely done. All right. 170. All right. So let's drop that smoked onion in here next. I'm just going to move this around and move this around and move this around. Now, let's see here. We got sherry, we got Madeira, we got port. We also have some Kung Fu Girl, Marsala. Not sure exactly what I want to use. Hello, Tiffany. Welcome. Come on in. And hello. I just lost my place. My screen flickered. All right. We're gonna go with sherry. We're gonna go with sherry. So we're gonna want to actually hit this a little bit more. Got a little bit of a crust developing on the bottom of this pan. So this will give the sauce a little bit of character with the with those pickled pork skin. All right, I'm gonna deglaze the pan. Hey, killing it, grilling it. That's where I lost it. Okay. I think I said hi to everybody. Sorry if I missed you. Wasn't intentional. I don't have my glasses. They're in the car, and I'm too lazy to go march my happy fat ass to the car to go get them. All right, the glaze with the sherry, just a smidge. Now I'm going to take some more of that Creole seasoning. We're gonna sprinkles, sprinklies, because we want to carry on that flavor with something kind of Creole-ish and French, with some French flair. Okay, I'll let those do their thing. And we're going to drop our smoked garlic in there. I didn't mash it ahead of time because it's just going to break down anyway. But we're going to move it around, let it get a little kiss of that heat. One of the nice things about that smoked garlic is how it mellows out the flavor while also giving it a whole other depth of flavor, if that makes any sense. Over. Look how nice and beautiful golden those are. All right. Gather up all my little doohickeys here. All right. Add some butter. Now I'm going to give it a splash of that brine. It's going to add a little bit of saltiness, but it will also give it a little bit of an acid, but we're going to combat that acid and the salt with a different kind of acid because we also want that citrusy note to it. So we're going to squeezy some lemon juice in there. I'm just going to give it like half of a lemon, I think. Should be plenty. Those are huge ass lemons too. And you know, show your lemon a little bit of love by rolling it around on the counter and pressing onto it, and just roll it around a little bit before you actually go to squeeze the lemon juice out. It helps break down the cell structure inside the lemon so that you actually get more lemon juice out of it. All right. The fond on the bottom of the pan is all that brown stuff that you see there. That's all the golden brown deliciousness. We want to be able to break some of that free because we want to add that back into the dish. We also don't want to scrape it too hard. That's why we're using a wooden spoon. There we go. Because the Maillard reaction is where all that money is, you know. Got to have the money, right? All right, next, we're going to take some butter. Yes, everything is, and a squeezy squeeze, you're right. Uh-huh. You get me. You get me. Probably one of the very few that get me. All right. Hello, Infi. And thank you. All right. Yes, bacon does make everything better, but so does butter. Bacon has its uses in just about everything, including donuts. But what I'm doing is I'm just breaking this up into little chunks because now here's where the fun part is. Turn that off, right? Got a little bit of that acid in there. Has a really nice smell to it. And then we're going to just start throwing knobs of butter, the cold butter in there. And we're just going to stir, and stir. Throw some more knobs of butter in there. We want to just throw a few knobs of butter at a time, though. We don't want to throw all of it in there because what we're going to do, we're going to then get this to emulsify. It's a lot like making hollandaise, but without the egg. It will start to emulsify into a butter sauce. Okay, so let's throw a couple more knobs in there. Let the heat from the pan just work its magic, right? Abracadabra. Those poor little legless frogs. Might have to go and start a GoFundMe to get them prosthetics. All right. A few more. See how it's turning into a rich butter sauce? We're gonna check our Brussels sprouts. Those are turning nice and golden on the top. They have a nice, beautiful smell to them. I love I love to deep fry Brussels sprouts. And what you do is you just cut them in half and just put them in a fryer basket and then drop them into the deep fryer. And they're going to pop and make a lot of noise, and they're going to spit oil at you, and you're going to cry and cuss a little bit, maybe go and lick some wounds a little later. But oh my God, just the flavor of that alone is just freaking phenomenal. Okay, so here we have that. You want to let that butter just gently melt. See how nice and emulsified that is? That's a nice sauce. Or I should say base for a sauce. All right. So just a couple little chunks left in there. Oops. Hey, Larry, welcome. Yes, we got frog legs right there. Wish I could say that there were no frogs harmed in the making of this delightful dish. That they lost their legs for whatever reason, but yeah. All right. So we're gonna add a little bit of chicken bouillon. It's about a half of a tablespoon right there. We're just gonna stir this together. And then we're going to turn the heat back on, but we're going to turn it on to a 4, which is medium low. And we're just going to give it a little splash of heavy cream. Now, if you don't have heavy cream, you can definitely use milk. Frog arms are better. All right. Add a little bit of parsley to that. Give it a little bit of a greenery. All right. This should help, that heavy cream should help to stabilize the butter. Now we're going to take our beauties. We're going to just pop them in there. Presentation side up. We don't want to ruin it. We're just going to let those get happy with a little bit of heat from the sauce. All right. How are we doing so far? Do you think you would make this dish at home? Ooh, steak au poivre. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm out of cognac, I think. I'm not seeing it. Oh, ow, son of a bitch. Ouch. Oh, I do have cognac. Shit. Okay. Next time. So, we're just going to let that get happy for a little bit. I'd love to see some photos of you guys making this dish at home or making your own version of it. You don't necessarily have to do this part, the macaroni and cheese part if you don't want. Or, find some other crazy concoction, because that's what this is all about, is using your creativity. This is how chefs play with food, and we play with the food to try to find some new crazy something or other. We want to, build our menus and stuff like that. And we experiment. Some of it's highly experimental, and sometimes you just don't work. and sometimes they work too well. So let's get some macaroni salad on here. All right. Yeah, some macaroni salad. And the reason why I decided on macaroni salad is because, you know, we're going into the warmer months, at least here. It might be blistering hot where you're at, but you can definitely make this for a picnic or some sort of function. And it would be kind of nice to have, you know, instead of having so many heavy things, because, you know, that's the beauty about having having picnics and cookouts and barbecues and so on and so forth, is to have these beautiful foods that don't sit so heavy. Huh? Does the sun? Tried a crazy thing tonight that I have not had before. Sweet potato mash with milk, butter, sour cream, and then the glaze from the ham drizzled on top. Oh my God, that sounds so good. Oh, Des, that sounds really good. So anyway, I forgot what I was saying. You know, when you're cooking for family and friends or your community, you're having like a community cookout, you know, sometimes having something a little bit different is kind of nice. So experiment with your food. You know, you might have a whole bunch of stuff that's about ready to go bad in your pantry. So use it up before you have to throw it out. Use it before you lose it, man. Use it before you lose it. And then again, it's like there's times when, you know, you find this really cool sale on something at the grocery store. If you buy 10, you get, you know, 10 for $10 or 20 for $10 or something like that. What do you do with it? What do you do with all of it? All right, there we go. There we have that. So we're going to kill the heat on that. These have gotten a good little glaze of that sauce. Sauce is really going to make it pop. Now we're going to go and take a look at our Brussels sprouts. Timmy hates Brussels sprouts. These look nice and pretty. Let's see here. Now, Brussels sprouts, you can definitely do other things with it. You could put, besides throw them in the trash, Timmy, you can definitely put just a little smattering of more olive oil over the top, and then add a little bit of balsamic. Where's my cherry balsamic? Oh my gosh. Oh no, I don't have any more. Oh, wait a minute. Vanilla fig, that'll work. Vanilla fig balsamic. Stuff's expensive. Yeah, it's a very thick balsamic. You know, just give it a splash. You can toss it with some pepitas, which are pumpkin seeds, type of pumpkin seed, and some goat cheese, if you like goat cheese. Goat cheese is really nice because if you have a lactose intolerance, a lot of the times people with lactose intolerance can definitely eat goat cheese and drink goat milk. All right, so just tossy a little bit of that vanilla fig balsamic. I'll plop that on the plate as well. Timmy's not going to eat any of these because he hates Brussels sprouts. Apparently, I tried making them once before, and I don't remember making them, but I'll believe him. All right. Always remember that your cast iron pan is going to be hot. So we're going to take one out. These are nice and tender. I can already tell you that much. Smells delightful. Two. I think that's all I'm going to fit on this plate. And then just drizzle a little bit more of that pork rind and that butter sauce. And if your butter sauce breaks, you can definitely, turn it back on to a very low and just throw in a couple more knobs of butter in there and just, really agitate it. Okay, is that better? All right. Let me move this out of the way. Put that over here. All right. A little bit of green. And maybe put a little bit of Creole. Let's give it a little dash. All right, there we have it. But here's the question. How does it taste? All right, let's go in for a money shot. Ow, table's hot. All right, there we have it. We got our Brussels sprouts. It's got a little bit of vanilla fig balsamic and our fried frog legs with a nice wine butter sauce with the pork rind and a little bit of the brine juice and some smoked garlic and smoked onion. And then our Kraft macaroni and cheese pasta salad. Not hot, but cold, So definitely very simple to make. You just boil up the pasta per directions and then mayonnaise and whatever else you want to put in it. Just treat it like it and then put the cheese packet in. And there you have it. Menti Mafia. I think I would have added a little bit more color to this. It definitely needed something that really makes it pop because it seems like it's all the same color, but I wasn't really thinking. Maybe like some roasted cherry tomato or something like that, blistered cherry tomato with some of that balsamic. So here we have it, everybody. No, it's not really overpowering at all. It's actually not bad. This is the one that I use for whenever I'm doing Creole style foods. And this is what I love the most is when they're nice and crispy. Yum.
They want a reaction, take a bite.
They want a reaction. Okay. All right. I hate eating on camera, but I'll take one for the team. Got a little bit of a kick to it. All right. So I'm going to try the macaroni salad first. I've already had a couple bites of it, but oh, stop it, Timmy. God, you're such a baby. I don't really taste the cheese sauce packet in it. I know I put it in there. All right. Squirrel pull, yes, squirrel pull. All right. Oh, look at that. Look how it just so tender. It just fell apart right there. Just fell apart. It's like the oyster of the thigh right there.
Got your record back in track.
Oh my God, this is so good.
47 wins, 1 loss.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, and you get that smokiness from the onion and the garlic, and you get a little bit of that pork rind flavor. Oh my God. This is really good. Oh. Simon says, "Take a bite, Tim." Oh, come on. This is really freaking delicious, man. It tastes like my chicken olive francaise. Here, just
No.
really?
Yeah, really.
Mm. So good. I love it. These Brussels are so nice. They're al dente. They still have a little bit of texture to them while being cooked, but not so cooked that they're like little balls of spite and malice. Mm. And the sweetness from the fig, vanilla fig, actually pairs very well with this. No, he did not say that, killing it, growing it. I can't stop eating this. This is so good. And the texture is really nice too. It just falls right off the bone. All right, last bite. Mm. Mm. Oh. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. I'm just gonna set this aside because we gotta roll. And I gotta cook Timmy a steak. I promised him I'd cook him a steak. Hey, so Greg, the rabbit food is what food eats. Okay. The rabbit food is what food eats. So if our food can eat rabbit food, then we should be able to eat rabbit food too. So I did not remove the ingredients from this, so I gotta go and remove that real quick. So pickled pig skins and the frog legs. Let's see here, what was the other one? Pickle juice needs to come off. Holy hell, that really turned out really good. Pickled pork rinds. Where did that pickled pork rind go? Kraft macaroni and cheese. Or did I already delete it? Okay, that's Brussels sprouts, Sabi black beans, ginger ale, Mountain Dew, Twizzlers. Pig's feet. All right, so there should be one missing in each. Oh, Brussels sprouts. There it is. All right, there we go. All right, so we need to replace the ingredients on the wheel. We did not do that because we always save this part for the live. So now we got to refill those spots. I feel like I didn't delete something. I guess I did. All right. So what should we fill in first?
Give them their options.
And we have protein, starch, vegetable, and random. Where's all of my dry erase pens? That's a permanent marker. Don't make me go out to my car. All my dry erase pens have disappeared. Do you have a dry erase pen over there? What? Why are you laughing at me?
I don't
Stop.
carry dry erase pens.
Why not?
Paint marker.
Huh?
I get a paint marker.
No, not a paint marker. Dry erase pen. Permanent marker. Yeah, let's just, okay, this is the one that was leaking all over me. It's going to leak all over me again. Yeah. All right. So, all right. So who wants to, I see that. So, okay, so we're going to, we're looking for a veggie. And I'll tell you what we have already on the wheel for veggie. So for veggie, we have hot chilies, cauliflower, artichoke, broccoli, carrots, corn, green beans, bean sprouts, celery leaves, rutabaga, asparagus, zucchini, and eggplant. So who would like to offer up the veggie? Do we need to send you a big box full? Big box full of. Oh, I love asparagus. I freaking love asparagus. Red beets. Okay. So let's see here. Simon said red beets. Red beets. Oh my God, I can't talk today. Red beets. Is she arguing with you?
Yeah.
All right. So next, we've got starches, protein, and 2 spots on the rando. Pens? Or am I reading that wrong? Thank goodness she didn't say penis. Okay, so now we need a meat. So let's go for a meat. What we have for meat is lamb, alligator, duck, buffalo, hot dogs, spam, beef ribs, chicken nuggets, fish, tongue, pig's feet, pork, and hamburger. So we need another one. Oh, no, I actually have a whole bunch of pens. I've got like a set of like 36 different colors of dry erase pens. They're just in my car. All right. Pork shoulder steak. We already have pork on there. Let's go with kielbasa. Well, I got kielbasa, sausage, and pork shoulder steak. KNG says pork shoulder steak. Kielbasa is Des, and Greg says sausage.
Well, kielbasa and sausage are kind of the same.
Huh?
Kielbasa and sausage are kind of the same in that direction.
Yeah, because we don't have sausages on here.
We don't.
No, we had sausages on there a long time
Yeah,
ago.
maybe we should
Long time ago.
put it back.
Yeah, we'll put kielbasa. I love kielbasa,
Yeah.
especially the ones that I can get over at Blue Max. All right, so Oh my God. Why is this thing doing this to me, man? All right. I know, right? Okay, so now we need we need a starch. What we have is orzo, ditalini, fava beans, potato, baked potato, French fries, kidney beans, basmati rice, saffron rice, mashed potatoes, egg noodles, wild rice, and potato salad. Yeah, yeah. Nice when Tiger isn't here to scream out koala testicles. That's right. I wish there was a like button for that comment. He keeps coming up with the most obscure shit, I swear. But don't even mention his name. He who must not be named.
He must not be working tonight. He is.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I know. No, he's probably working very hard right now, so or he's taking the day off. I don't know which yet. Okay, so we need a starch. Oh yeah, there is pin it to the top. I could pin it to the top. I think. Why won't it let me pin it to the top? Oats. Oats. Okay, oats. Oh my God, I can't frickin' write today. All right. All right, so now we need 2 randos. I think killing it and grilling it. You need to offer up a random ingredient. Maybe we'll throw his pork shoulder on there, or pork steak thing on there. I don't know. Oats seems good. Yeah, because oats are actually you can actually do a lot with oats. All right. Where is killing it and grilling it? So we need 2. What we have on there right now are black beans, ginger ale, Mountain Dew. Thank you, Mason. Sour Patch gummies, gnocchi, salmon roe, courtesy of Tiger, red wine. What the hell does that say? Pistachio, Twizzlers, taco seasoning, pork rinds, and wasabi. Bourbon.
Ooh, good call.
Great Northern beans and bourbon. Okay, so we got Great Northern beans. G North beans. That's a good one. And we're going to go with bourbon. Bourbon. O-N. All right, so now we get to spin. God dang it. Oh my God, this is going to freaking drive me nuts. I look like I jacked off a Smurf. Freaking A, man. We're trying to steal something at the store and one of those ink dye things broke. All right. All right, so now we get to spin the wheel for next week. Are we ready? Assuming that ostrich does not come in. If ostrich does come in, we will be going with that, but this is going to be an alternate. So we need an alternate. I need to get it. You know what? I think 3 weeks ago I said I needed to throw that pen away. It's now in the garbage. I think I've got another one. I got my old one over here. All right. Different pen. All right. Yeah, I look like I jacked off a freaking Smurf now. All right. Do we already have asparagus? Yes, we already have asparagus. Okay, so what are we spinning for? Let's go for, I don't know, what are we going to spin for first? Let's start with that first. We're not choosing new ones yet. We got to spin for them, and then we'll we'll
That's so random.
rando. Okay, so we're gonna spin for the rando. Oh man, Mason, you suck. Mountain Dew. All right, spinny spin. All right. Where's my erase? Erase. Mountain Dew is now off the board. Mason better be paying attention. It's all your fault, man. Okay, next we're going to spin for, what are we spinning for next? Meat, starch, or veg? First one to shout it out. Yeah, spinny spin. Spinny spin. All right. All right. Des said starch.
Yeah, but you picked last.
Okay, so we'll go with
Veggies first and then
veggies first. We're gonna go with veggies first. Veggies, protein, and then starch. So veggies. Oh, look at that. Man, Simon picked this one. Hot chilies. All right.
Okay.
Time to take that off the board. Oh my God, why? All right. Hot chilies. Are you freaking kidding me right now? God. Freaking eyeglass white piece of garbage. I don't like those pens. I'm not buying them. You know, the best dry erase pens are the ones from the dollar store. Kid you not. They erase every single time. You get the expensive ones from Home Depot, and it's, or not Home Depot, Staples, and it's like, hey, not today, Satan. Not today. All right. Next one was
You got the veggies.
protein is next, and then starch. We got lamb. Oh dear God. All right, lamb. All right, so now that leaves us with the starch, right? Yep. Starch is tiger, diddleini. In case you don't know what diddleini is, it's kind of like the shape of orzo, but smaller. And definitely something that has to be ordered off of Amazon. All right, so did I take the lamb off yet? No, did not take the lamb off yet. All right, lamb. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 spaces open. So now we need to refill those 4 spaces. Or should we spin again for another rando? We got Mountain Dew, hot chilies, lamb, and diddleini. Should we spin again for another random ingredient and throw in a 5th ingredient, or should we just leave it as it is? Mary had a little lamb, and I don't know if Mary thought that Mountain Dew was going to go with her lamb, but spin again for another rando. Okay. And we got black beans. That is so weird. All right, black beans. All right. I'm going to rewrite wasabi. Kind of erased it a little bit. Wasabi. All right. So I think what we should do is killing it and grilling it. Said pork what? Pork shoulder steak? Pork shoulder steak. So we're going to write pork shoulder steak in here. And that one's going to be for killing it and grilling it. We don't see him that often. So, all right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to fill in for the vegetable. So, we'll run through the vegetables again. Cauliflower, artichoke, broccoli, carrot, corn, green beans, bean sprouts, red beets, celery leaves, rutabaga, asparagus, zucchini, and eggplant. And we got turnips. A turnip. All right. All right, so now we need a starch. We're going to go over the starches one more time. Fava beans, which, oh my God, I hate being left-handed because then I end up smudging everything. Which one were we doing again? Starch? Yeah. Orzo, fava beans, potato, baked potato, French fries, kidney beans, basmati rice, oats, saffron rice, mashed potato, egg nudes, wild rice, potato salad, and orzo. And a partridge in a pear tree. Cilantro. God, I love cilantro. I love cilantro. I could just eat just cilantro. Just toss in a little oil and some salt and just munch on that. Especially cilantro micros. Oh my God. I used to be really heavy handed on my street tacos with the cilantro micros. Okay. So we need a starch. Fava beans, potato, baked potato, fries, kidney beans. Spaghetti squash. God, you guys must really like squashes.
I think everybody does, but does.
I love spaghetti squash. I love to make my wild boar bolognese with my spaghetti squash. Uh-oh, the moose lost his audio. All right. We added your, hey, killing it and grilling it, we added your pork shoulder steak to the protein. All right. Next, we have 2 spots for the randos. The rando categories got ginger ale, sour gummies, gnocchi, salmon roe, red wine, bourbon, pistachio, Twizzlers is still on the board. Great Northern beans, which are actually a really good bean. I really like those. Taco seasoning, pork rinds, and wasabi. Did I say ginger ale? Ginger ale's on there. Try cooking onions and what's mitpaka? Mitpaka. Mitpaka? What? Jesus Christ. Bell Loop, are you having a stroke? Simon said cilantro.
I'm still trying to figure out what
Soy
Gary
sauce.
said.
What?
I'm still trying to figure out what Gary said.
I know. I think Gary's having a stroke or something. Gary, are you okay? Tess is like, Gary, are you okay? Started to put something but didn't stop for a second and switch gears. All right. What'll bring Gary back from the dead? Just yell the word 29. Hello, Tech 178. Good morning. So we need one more rando. So far we got ginger ale, sour gummies, gnocchi, salmon roe, red wine, bourbon, pistachios, Twizzlers, Great Northern beans, taco seasoning, pork rinds, wasabi, soy sauce. Did I say ginger ale? I'll say ginger ale again anyway. So one more. One more. Yeah, my train derails frequently, Gary. I get it. I totally get it. Soy sauce or Worcestershire? Didn't we do Worcestershire?
Ooh,
What?
moose.
Moose? Oh, oh my God, Eddie. All right, we're gonna go with Eddie's because Eddie's is interesting. Eddie said, or no, I'm sorry. What am I saying, Eddie? Now my train is derailing. The moose just said Jello. Oh my God, I need my glasses. The moose said Jello. We're gonna go with Jello. We're gonna go with Jello. We can do a pull out the Betty Crocker 1950s, circa 1950s cookbook and pull out the Ballotine recipe with the freaking Jello mold with the meat and vegetables and other random horse shit that they used to put in the mother effers. All right, so the wheel is done, guys. The wheel is done. Yay! Oh. So I hope you all enjoyed the frog legs. I would love to see photos. So you can definitely send me photos to my email. It's munchiemafiaofficial@gmail.com. And yeah, you know what? I'm going to give this a 5-star rating. Actually, no, I'm going to give it a 4.5. I'm going to give it a 4.5 star. The reason why is because one, I don't like macaroni salad. And number two, I think I should have put a little bit more of that brine and a little bit more lemon in it. But all in all, it's very, very good. So make this at home. Make it your own. Again, the ingredients was Kraft macaroni and cheese, frog legs, Brussels sprouts, pickled pork rinds. I need a nap is what I need, Timmy. Either that or another MRI. I don't know. So Brussels sprouts, that, and the other stuff. Pickled pig skins. Where is that jar of pickled pig skin? Where'd I put it? Oh, there it is. Refrigerate after opening, by the way. So these are great. You can also, toss them with a whole bunch of other random ingredients and just eat them chilled. Salt and pepper and cilantro and chili peppers of whatever you want. A little bit of drain the juice out, a little bit of the juice out. Add some apple cider vinegar, cilantro, tomato, onion, green onion. Make a little salad out of it. Delish. Just as it is, but chilled. Okay. And maybe even have some avocado off to the side and call it a day. Yeah, seriously, we have Baldridge on everything except for this. Not tonight. Not tonight, killing it, growing it. Not tonight, Jim. Not tonight. But for the most part, that stuff gets really heavily used in this household. It's got a nice balanced flavor. Nothing's too overpowering. It's delicious. I love seasonings. I love to mix and match a lot of my seasonings. I don't know why I want another bite of that. I want to like this, but I don't like macaroni salad. So I'm sure Timmy will like this. But these frog legs are divine. So everybody, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for the support. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you next week. So don't forget, cook with love, eat with passion.
Squirrels on Sunday.
Oh, Squirrel is on Sunday. We're doing an actual Cards Against Humanity on Squirrel this Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. I don't know what date that is, but it's Sunday. It's Sunday somewhere, right? May the 4th, Star Wars Day. So have a good night. Toodles.
Well, Munchie Mafia, it is that time. We really hate saying goodbye, so let's just say a fond good night, or even a sad little toodaloo. Perhaps even a till next time, maybe even a tartar for now. We'll be here on Off Topic Squirrel because Bucci needs love too. It's been really fun with all our friends, no matter if you're old or you're new. So before you let that door slam behind you, fondle that like button lovingly and go back to your life as it were before you hit that play button on YouTube. If you haven't yet subscribed to Munchie Mafia Official, now is that time. What's stopping you? While you're still here on YouTube, please check in on our friend Simon. He hails from the great state of Texas. He cooks up some great food. He's a good-hearted Tex-Mex Santa with a tasty sidekick named Taco. Visit Yes, I Can Barbecue. Thanks for coming, and please remember, as you are in your very own kitchen and cooking for your family, community, and friends, to always cook with love and always eat with passion. Unless it has Twizzlers in it, whoever suggested that is going to hell. As Chef CV says, stir up some magic. Whiskey whisk in